Starport going down fairly quickly here for Fenix, so expect to see some Banshees coming out for him. Factory completing up and the Tech Lab going down instantly. Now Drewbie, as I mentioned, likes to go for that Marine play. Well, Marine tank is sort of his bread and butter, as we would call it. And after that last matchup, being a little bit late on his siege because he decided to go with the Blue Flame Hellions, it does not surprise me that he's deciding so quickly to go with his factory tanks and eventually siege mode as soon as he's got enough gas.
We're seeing Fenix favors Banshees almost in every single matchup. Loves the advantage it gives you in terms of controlling the map, going for that very fast swap on the starport, but also careful to get the reactor early as well. Lots of Marines are your key to early defense, and there's the Banshee popping out. No cloak at all. In fact, Fenix just now getting his second gas geyser, but in the meantime we see Drewbie starting to get a good amount of tanks up now. He just has the resources to get siege as well and getting that Viking. I mean, Drewbie is doing a classic, typical Marine tank Viking push.
Yeah, and I mean, he might look for a little bit of revenge here. There's a decent scan. It will see a lot of the tech that he wants to see. And notice the placement of that scan. It is put in that place to try to catch exactly what Day9 was talking about just moments ago, where he tries to see the whole limit or the whole area that might be hiding some of that tech, some of those production buildings. And as you can see, wow, Drewbie is already moving out as he knows that the Banshee's going out. Of course, with the cost of what he has just done, he might have an opportunity here to find his opponent with a lack of units.
Oh, this is so smart by Fenix. He is leading in with this Banshee, but having a Marine and an SCV check the attack path for that Banshee to make sure it is clear to move in. And in the meantime, we see that Drewbie using the vision advantage of this Viking to start picking away at that high ground, starting to shoot SCVs. Not a lot of damage being dealt, but still picking off at least a little bit of something in there. The Banshee's going to get into the main, and it will not be able to do enough damage. And there is the Viking up. Oh no, with no cloak. He's just going to be able to chase it down. Oh no, Drewbie not looking, trying to focus at the front of the base, but it looks like Drewbie is going to be the one doing the fast aggression in this game. He needs to siege up quickly. He needs to siege up quickly. Oh, and there, it's going to be a little bit late, but if he can get a good shot off on those Marines, he can do a lot of damage, but no, it looks like Fenix manages to deal the damage he needs with those SCVs, and wow, Drewbie could have won that, but instead just like 2 seconds too late on that siege.
Yeah, I mean, just didn't have it up on time, kind of took him by surprise. And of course, with the SCVs coming out, it is I mean, throwing away a little bit of that resources. Got more Vikings moving over. They are going to get caught here by some Marines on the outside. But with the SCVs coming out, once the tanks did siege, they of course hit their own Marines, helping out Fenix a little bit here. And he will just watch. This is nice, however, because if we do have, say, a medevac come out, he's either got to deal with these Vikings or see them basically see like a medevac get killed almost immediately. So he's got a lot of freedom. Finally, the Marines are coming in, but he's going to spread some out on the outside as well to try to pick them off. A smart little move, separating those two out to try to get a kill. Does not happen, but smart decision nonetheless.
Expansion Command Center nearing completion for Drewbie, and we see a little bit of a lead from Fenix having this earlier Command Center, having an earlier third gas, but Drewbie has gotten an earlier reactor to really begin pumping out those Marines and tanks. We see Drewbie ahead in the food and the unit counting station. Man, it looks like in that first tank push, Drewbie certainly killed off a lot of SCVs. Again, coming back to this workers kill tab, that is very revealing to why Drewbie is slightly ahead in the food count.
And we are going to have tanks sieging up on the high ground, a couple of sieging up on the outside. But remember, Drewbie does have the advantage of having these Vikings right now. No units that can hit them. So we're going to have a little, son, my siege tank shells are bigger than yours. And unfortunately, Drewbie won that one. Or unfortunately for Fenix, Drewbie won that one as he'll get a repair on that tank. Right now, look for an opportunity. We have a Banshee coming out now from Drewbie. And oh my gosh, look at how unprepared Fenix is for this.
Fenix, who is such an aggressive player, sometimes you'll see him crumble immediately, though, when he has nothing at home to defend. Again, he relies on offense as his defense. Looks like Drewbie just going to try to kill off as much as he can, gets 5 kills on that Banshee, and again we see Drewbie with just a marginal lead against his opponent, but wow, Fenix going for a pretty aggressive move, advancing out towards the backside, and it looks like Drewbie is anticipating more units out here than are actually present. So suddenly we're going to see, oh, Drewbie picks off that tank, but will he be able to prevent this from doing that much damage?
Ooh, if he could siege up here in a good position, it'd be very, very nice. He's going to move forward and not going to siege up right away. There he gets into a better position. One mule goes down, second mule goes down, and now that command center is going to be under fire. Now remember, Drewbie does have the advantage of having that vision with the Vikings, but has not set up quite yet. Right now, Marines providing good enough vision. Tanks are going to move forward without sieging up, and unfortunately, Fenix is going to be stopped there. Drewbie doing a good job taking care of that, minimizing his damage, and it looks like he still has an upper hand here.
Those players, in the midst of all that battling, have added on a lot of unit-producing structures, but we see Drewbie getting that earlier second factory. That means he is going to begin getting a ridiculous amount of tanks out. That is going to be very helpful in securing these big, wide-open spaces. And who's going to win this Viking battle? It looks like Drewbie, oh no, does end up losing one of his Vikings early. Going to try to pick off the other ones, and he does manage to get one. So Drewbie is slowly gaining ground.
Yeah, Fenix got the advantage there. He had 2 Vikings hitting the first one, but the Marines from Drewbie quickly reacting, and he doesn't really get any sort of or gain any sort of advantage there. I think right now Fenix is more curious about making sure that he can bolster his economy to get all these extra units out, getting that double factory going on, and it is supply blocked right now, which puts him down. He is building 2 supply depots, just waiting for those to finish up. He'll get another one, as he's also waiting for that first medevac to hit. Meanwhile, we see the command center being built and the gold rocks going down. Drewbie trying to take a definitive advantage in this matchup.
Drewbie, even though he's ahead by just 10 food, is actually much farther ahead than that. He is done with stim and combat shield, and it looks like Fenix has neither. He's running a couple Marines to this backside to do potentially a little bit of damage, but we're going to see that Drewbie is going to slowly get the opportunity to do a big counter-offensive with all these Marines and tanks as long as he begins to move out quickly enough. There's the combat shield going down just now for Fnatic's Fenix, so that means that Drewbie again will get his gold up a little earlier and can get one of these key watchtower positions that would secure him an early win.
Fenix is going to build a supply depot in the back, but the SCV is killed after it builds that supply depot, and then the Marines kill the supply depot. That SCV is really sad. So we have a couple Marines going up. He picks up that Viking that he did some damage to earlier, and Fenix, after losing that supply depot, actually gets supply block and does have 2 more on the way, but again has to wait the second time this game, and every single time that it happens, it does allow Drewbie just a little bit of an advantage to stretch that even more. Drewbie really seems like he's handling this nicely, and based off of what we've seen so far, if he can control this middle before Fenix, I think we might see a victory here and possibly go to a 3rd game.
But Fenix, again, is an unbelievable tactician, moving all those Marines over at just the right time, doing a little bit of free shots on that command center, and then pulling back. Despite the fact that Drewbie has the larger army size, for some reason, Fenix is able to manipulate where Drewbie is placing all these units to put Drewbie constantly on the defensive, which is a remarkable skill when you are that far behind as Fenix is.
Yeah, and you know what? I think what was really great about that is that he did not allow Drewbie to get that initial setup there at his gold. And, you know, it's one of the things that Fenix has been doing well, coordinating drops. There he's going to go in yet again, do that gold, takes out that refinery that's going down. He's able to take out some SCVs as well. While the battle is happening here in the middle, Drewbie moves forward. He's in trouble.
Fenix getting a little bit caught off guard there with those tanks, but at the same time, Fenix is doing this counterattack against the gold, and it looks like Drewbie's just going to completely go around it. Drewbie is much more about direct attacks, much more about that muscle of Fenix, all about the guerrilla tactics, hitting all over the place. And Fenix, though, he's doing damage, could be putting himself more and more behind with all these little aggression tactics, but my god, he's so good at splitting up his army just right. Looks like Fenix is sieging up tanks to be able to defend against this push. There's Drewbie's units, and it looks like, no, he should not go for that. Oh, he realizes at the last second that that is not the play that he wants to make. losing a big amount of Marines, losing a couple medevacs, and his natural expansion took a lot of damage.
Yeah, it did. I mean, continuing this assault over here, we see more. Oh, tank siege up, and actually Fenix was not ready for that. He's going to lose a medevac as well. Tanks are not sieged up here, and so Marines are going to swing around. But meanwhile, Drewbie is assaulting the gold as well. Is morphing into a planetary right now, but it has to cancel and lift off at risk of getting killed. So Drewbie still trying to pressure here through the middle on both sides.
I cannot believe how good Fenix is at these aggression tactics now, just finding wherever there's a weaker half and just drilling all his units in that direction. Fenix doesn't even seem to care about defense, but he's got to be careful. Drewbie pulling off all his SCVs, setting the Marines forward. Fenix is going to get cleaned up in this attack. Drewbie now has a definitive lead.
Yeah, and that was just going way too far. Fenix actually seats his tanks within range of the planetary. He's in a very, very hurt position right now as he's got more tanks going. If you just look at the unit counting station, 7 tanks to 3 tanks, 26 Marines to 11 Marines. And this is that one rare time where, of course, Terran wishes they had some Banelings. We're going to see that command center going down. And it was a smart move. You know, he knew the gold was in danger, so tried to take it to the wing expansion. Unfortunately, it was found, and Drewbie does get a win on that. Now, he is moving down here. He's got a lot of medevacs. He can load up almost this entire army and send it over, and he is only going to bring up some Marines for now. So you see medevacs moving in. Medevacs are going to be going down as well. He takes out the 1 tank and doing some damage from within.
And Drewbie now pulling back to all these tanks, defending from the low ground, picking off these key structures, getting the starport, getting the factory. Almost nothing that Fenix can do, and Drewbie has a nice little army macroed up at home, slowly making his way forward. Fenix needs to get another base up and running, needs to get this gold established, but it looks like Drewbie's going to be moving in from that backside.
And, I mean, Drewbie continuing.
Wow, and there's the good game. Drewbie tying up the series 1-1, and that was so cool to see both of them making the same mixture of units, the Marine, tank, medevac, but the way that they used them drastically different, with Fenix more than willing to split his armies up into smaller and smaller chunks, hitting so many different places at once, but Drewbie so solid, waiting till just the right time to pierce through, and ended it with a very clean one big swoop.
It's also nice to see a player obviously go, oh, hey, I see what Fenix is doing, so this time when he tries to do it again, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to surprise him. And although we saw Fenix move up and do a lot of harassment on that gold, it was that one time where he moved his tanks too far forward, and Drewbie's like, I know what you're doing. Oh, surprise, the stim. And he just obliterated that army. At that point, he felt safe enough to move his army and start taking and picking away at the production structures there inside the main. A great win after a short first game, and we're now tied 1 game apiece. Fnatic Fenix won game 1, Drewbie with game 2, and in our 3rd game, Tal'Darim Altar. I hope that you have some time, because we've got a TBT on Tal'Darim coming up.
That's actually very surprising to me that Fenix would choose that map. I generally think of Fenix as the more aggressive player. He likes the maps with a lot of tactical positions that you can do, but on Tal'Darim Altar, it's a lot more about the general broad way that you control the middle of that map. Those 4 watchtowers give you so much control over that space, but we've seen Fenix love the draw play, love the Banshee play, and continue to do better with smaller armies than with bigger ones. So we'll see what's going to happen as we go into game 3. And from what I understand, we're now talking to everyone in the main crowd. Hello, everyone in Columbus, Ohio today. My wonderful casting mate, DJ Wheat, and I are so pumped.